All right, let me throw some perspective at you. It's been about 10 and a half years since Wall Street crashed our economy. In those 10 years, has anybody from Wall Street been reprimanded in any real way? Well, actually, the five biggest banks have only profited over $500 billion since then. Execs at the five biggest banks have only made money. They've been paid over $3.4 billion since then, and not one single exec has gone to jail for it. Meanwhile, the bottom 90%, people like you, people like me, are still poorer than we were in 2007. What's to stop Wall Street from doing this again and again and again? Bitcoin fixes this. Welcome back, everybody, to Altcoin Daily, where you subscribe for a video on cryptocurrency every day. My name's Austin. In today's video, we're talking about a potential big pivot from Facebook's Libra coin. I have a direct quote from Facebook right here. We're talking about the CFTC and their update on other crypto assets besides Bitcoin, besides Ether. We have a little bit more clarity, and of course, we are talking about Russia's recent pretty big flex on banning cryptocurrency projects like Libra. I want to clue you all in. Like always, a lot of news to cover, starting with Bitcoin. And in fact, Tron just got a major step forward for adoption from Opera browser. The Opera browser has just added Bitcoin payments to its Android update. So this means everybody, the millions of people that use the Opera browser, just got exposed to Bitcoin as an option to pay. The Opera web browser has added Bitcoin e-commerce and Tron integration to its Android app, the company has just said. So if you use the Opera browser, what does this mean for you? Well, the enhanced crypto functionality will let Opera for Android users make Bitcoin payments directly from the built-in digital wallet and interact with the decentralized apps, dApps, on the Tron blockchain. And this means it could increase crypto visibility among the browser's claimed 300 million users. In a direct quote from Opera, most people have heard of Bitcoin, and thus we saw it as important to support it and make this feature more familiar to a larger group of people. To put this in perspective, out of the top 5 browsers, which are Chrome, Safari, Samsung Internet, UC Browser, and Opera, Opera remains the only one to have digital wallet integration. Big step. If anything, this should tell you that Opera is interested in accumulating as much Bitcoin and looks like as much Tron as they possibly can. Interesting. Next piece of news, Russia to ban Facebook if the US blocks Libra cryptocurrency. So Russia is flexing pretty hard on this. This is recent news. Speaking to reporters on October 22nd, Dmitry Peskov, President Vladimir Putin's special representative for IT, confirmed its official position on Libra as well as its official position on Telegram's prospective cryptocurrency, Gram. In a direct quote from Russia, if Libra launches without controls, meaning I would assume without approval, without regulation from the US government, if Libra or Gram launches without controls, the likelihood of the scenario appearing in which we block Facebook, the app, this website, we block Facebook significantly increases, not just in Russia, but in every country, he says. So Russia will block the world from using Facebook if Libra were to launch? Okay. And let it be known, this is not up to the Russian government, but this is up to the American government, because continuing that quote, he says, but this does not depend on the Russian government, but on the American one, he continues, striking an ironic tone. Therefore, it would be apt to direct your queries to the American government once it blocks Facebook and Telegram. So it appears that Russia doesn't want this to launch. They don't want Libra to launch, probably because it's filled with mostly American companies, or Gram to launch, probably because it's not Russian. And Russia has already threatened to block Facebook before, which has a limited following in the country, so not many Russians use Facebook anyway, but they threatened to block Facebook due to a separate row over data storage. Interesting. So Russia is not going to support these things. Now, Facebook may be making a pretty significant pivot from what we've come to know Libra cryptocurrency as being. I'm going to give you the direct quote, but first, The CFTC says that other crypto assets other than BTC, other than Ether, can become commodities. So a little more clarity. Also, the CFTC chief also revealed that Ethereum futures might hit the market within the next year. Let me clue you in. Speaking at the DC FinTech Week on Monday, October 21st, Chairman Talbert remarked that the crypto designations into securities and commodities are not set in stone. According to the CFTC chief, a crypto asset that's considered a security can become a commodity and vice versa. So he's essentially saying that just because we declared something a commodity doesn't mean it can't become a security later, or vice versa. If a crypto would be declared a security today, doesn't mean it can't become a commodity tomorrow. Interesting. Not really making a, sounds like sort of wishy-washy to me, but furthermore, Talbert revealed that other cryptos, apart from Bitcoin and Ethereum, might be labeled as commodities. So that in itself is a green flag, although he's speaking in generalities. I would prefer some specifics. Talbert also stated that the CFTC was looking into evaluating stablecoins as commodities. According to Coinmetrics co-founder Nick Carter, the CFTC chairman did state that he wasn't aware of any legal precedent for such a transmutation from securities to a commodity status. In a direct quote from Nick Carter, I asked the chairman what precedent supports the transmutation from security to a commodity for Ethereum, for example, and he says, none that I'm aware of. So big takeaways here are stablecoins could be considered commodities, and just because something is classified as a security or commodity doesn't mean it can't switch. If we get more concrete information, I will clue you in, so make sure you stay subscribed to the channel. But moving on, next piece of pretty big news, big pivot. David Marcus says Facebook's crypto project could change their course. Libra appears to be in the midst of a reversal. After coping with an onslaught of criticism over its controversial cryptocurrency project, Facebook is weighing another path. Instead of creating an entirely new stablecoin backed by a basket of different currencies, the social media giant is suggesting that it could use cryptocurrencies based on the US dollar and other national currencies instead of the basket. So instead of one stablecoin for the world, it's going to be a US stablecoin, a Russian stablecoin backed by those specific national currencies. In a direct quote, Marcus says, we could do it differently. Instead of having a synthetic unit, we could have a series of stablecoins, a dollar stablecoin, a euro stablecoin, a sterling pound stablecoin, etc. We could definitely approach this with having a multitude of stablecoins that represent national currencies in a tokenized digital form. That is one of the options that should be considered. So this would be a huge pivot from what they're doing now. To me, it sounds like instead of the race for governments to create their own digital national currency, it sounds like Facebook would rather do the job for them and not wait on the US, not let China, win with their digitalized national currency. Facebook will take all the currencies and make their own. This is what they're proposing, but obviously I think David Marcus is just trying to find anything that maybe the US would accept from them. Anyways, as I get more, hey, let me know what you think down below in the comments, and if I get more information, I will keep you updated. Last piece of news, Casa is helping Bitcoin investors pass on their holdings when they die. Because if you're the only one who knows your private keys and you get hit by a bus tomorrow, well, what happens to your Bitcoin? If nobody knows your private keys, then it's lost. If you pass away tomorrow, would your loved ones be able to access your Bitcoin holdings? Well, that's a concern addressed by a new service from cryptocurrency custody provider Casa that helps hodlers of cryptocurrency ensure their assets are passed on after their death. Called Casa Covenant, the service combines multi-signature authorization with a security protocol to assign Bitcoin holdings for later inheritance. To go into more detail, with the launch, Casa aims to tackle the quandary for Bitcoin users who may pass away while they're holding Bitcoin. Casa said their choices are currently, while you can do nothing and potentially leave your Bitcoin inaccessible forever, you could share your account details with a trusted individual. Of course, that's another opening risking theft. if you share your private keys, or you can use a third-party custodian who may not have a process for inheritance and also may pose as a security risk. And Casa is fixing this. I'm going to leave this link down below in the description, but pretty interesting stuff. All right, guys, that was a quick news day. Let me know what you thought. Oh yeah, I do want to leave you with a recent Charles Hoskinson Cardano AMA. Somebody asked them, do you think Cardano could replace Bitcoin? Check this out.
Do you think Cardano could replace Bitcoin? Yes. Number one. We go for number one.
All right. I love the passion. Love the passion. But anyways, that is the video for today. My name's Austin. If you do not already, follow us on Twitter. But like always, I will see you tomorrow.